It's still difficult to really. And the thing is, Ferny's Tacos has been around for quite a while too. We talk about like they're the underdogs, and we
In
talk
some
about
iteration or another.
Outlast has had a season to really, or at least a little bit of time to work together the team and figure things out. Well, I would assume Ferny's Tacos have been together because I think I've seen this team in like every single qual for like a year now.
Something like
God's
that.
Sakes.
Well, again, that's why I said in some iteration or another. Ferny's Tacos, the brand, has been around a while, but it's always been,
Yeah.
different players here, different players there. But whatever it is, getting in the matchup right now, as you can see, and so far, Benny, it's nothing too crazy in bans.
Nope.
Once again, it's Thatcher, Maverick, and Valkyrie. But again, all these, while we joke about these bans, they are very standard. They are very good bans at that. And for the final ban, probably a Mira, since it's Kafe. She's very strong on this map. I'd be surprised if it was Mira.
I would be surprised if it was Mirror, maybe Omai or something like that. Depends, but it's actually kind of makes sense too with the, Maverick on the board.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that does mean that Mira will be in play. Kafe is definitely one of her stronger maps, and depends on if, obviously, Connor mentioned that Outlast have had a very lengthy offseason. They've not made any changes. They have had the full amount of time to work on their existing team, their existing strategies, and also make some new ones. They've been practicing with Mira. We might see them bring it out, and here we go. Sometimes because Mira is banned so frequently, teams, even when she's up, will not run her because they are not part of their existing strategies. But on a map like Kafe, never mind. Genesis is going to switch to Vigil, so my bad.
Way to your words, unfortunately. But the Mozzie individual on the board, you can definitely tell that they're looking to roam here on this first floor defensive kitchen service, kitchen cooking. And the ban is being brought on the board, of course, since, Mute doesn't have the same effect as it did before, because now it's a spherical error effect rather than a cylindrical. It's difficult to be Mute for that all around heart breaching denial. So ban's been making a comeback. He's been used more and more. Depending, I'm not sure how effective he's going to be, but still something better than nothing, really, I guess.
True. But as for here, since that Thatcher and that Maverick is gone, Bandit will be a little bit more powerful, so you can focus that on the hard breaching, gives you a good gun as well. Overall, for Outlast, we talked about maybe wanting to get a little bit more aggressive. CJ called Ferny's Tacos a team of shooters. He also called Outlast just overall good, cohesive team. They're certainly shooters as well, if they need to be. Pretty much everyone has a gun that they can shoot pretty well with. No SMG-11s, no shotguns here, so Outlast trying to set themselves up for that style of play as best that they can. Also see, certainly, maybe not a dedicated extension, but something that will help facilitate some roaming. Those 2 cigar walls reinforced. So if Panic wants to rotate in there, he still has the windows to reconcile with, but he won't have to worry about those walls and somebody peering up or peering down that hatch at him.
So it looks like there is a roam upstairs, and it looks like at this point, Ferny's Tacos looking to push right onto site. Coat check pushed in, poised, walks in, looking left, looking right. One's on the stairs next to him, though. I don't know if they understand. Actually, no, Titan, he's already pushed into small bakery, and the Maestro pushes first. Jewel will take the first fight. Win against Nat. He's getting shot in the back, though. Genesis there, help him out. Can he get the kill? Poise goes down to Genesis, so there is some backup for these members, but they're already inside into the kitchen cooking. Rainbow gets killed. Jewel. Nomad goes down, takes down Rainbow in return, and can they get this plan down? No, Nomad is stopping whatsoever. Now it's just Flipper in a 1v4.
Well, honestly, that wasn't a bad call by Ferny's by any means. It just so happened that, as we were talking about, Outlast is a team of shooters, all have great guns. The one player in the site saw Nat moving in through that bakery or that service double door and took him down immediately. And then the attack pretty much collapsed entirely after that. They made their way in through code check. Again, it was a really solid call by Ferny's because a lot of the defenders were above the site on that second and third floor. Just so happened that couple kills went against them at the exact wrong moment. Flipper in the 1v4, make his way back into coach check where the round started picking up for Ferny's Tacos in the first place. We'll see the Bandit wide swing almost to land the shots, but while both players are on low HP, this is likely favoring the defense overall, especially when your gun is now behind you since you're trying to throw a flashbang. First round goes in the favor of Outlast on the back of a failed rush by Ferny's Tacos.
Yeah, that's pretty much the analysis right there. Like, that's a good call. Like you said, it's, you understand this. Most of the people are upstairs roaming, but at the same point, you can tell that Outlast have made ways to rotate back. You usually see teams will open up that hatch inside a freezer if they know they're going to be rotating back after a roam. So if Ferny's Tacos wanted to make that work, they need to hit it faster than they were. Sure, they were being careful because they didn't want to just rush in and die to an Ulda, like you saw Jewel take out one, just mow them down. But at the same point, by the time they got that kill and they pushed in, the members from Outlast were already rotating back down to the site, already creating that funnel and already trying to collapse on the attack. So it's just unfortunate that Ferny's Tacos couldn't take the full effect of the rush because of, well, they're trying to be careful, I guess.
And also just some unlucky timing for Nat moving in the site. But
yeah.
First round, new to CL. Fernies are trying to get their bearings of things. It happens. Happened to the best of us. Certainly happened to Outlast last stage. We can cut them a little bit of slack, starting things out on this go-around. Moving back to Cocktail. This is in their map pool. Should be very well versed in attacking one of the more common sites the defense will go to. But for the likes of Outlast, doesn't appear they're going too crazy either. Goyo on the board as well as Jewel with that smoke shield. Gonna see them holding Cigar behind that deployable shield with my discs and ADSs stacked to try and burn as much time to stop that Goyo shield from getting destroyed, allowing the player to play behind there for as long as he can. Same thing goes for inside a freezer. Same thing goes for holding on to Cocktail. So for Ferny's Tacos, you might have had that bit of faltering in round one, but if this map is as hyped up as they say it is for Ferny's Tacos, this is a very standard setup. They should have an idea of how to counter.
Yeah, this is the same old as you expect. Especially now that, well, it's not as prevalent, especially with the Jaeger or my changes, but still it is a strat that most people go back to when holding that Christmas site, holding Pixel. So let us see how, Ferny's Tacos does. They aren't looking to bring anything different. The lineup's the same, and they're not looking to bring a buck for that, cocktail take, but poised to be the first one jumping in. Pre-fires to make sure nobody's playing the cubby inside of Cigar. It's a good place to shoot because many players are sitting there with a shotgun, deny the drop from red. It's a great job there. You just pre-fire, make sure what you can see if any my disc are sitting there, and they're going to run out and see how they can deal with this player in Pixel starting off.
They'll start to take it the standard way. Two players repelled on that western side. The Nomad sending flashbangs in, and GNAT, or Nat, however you want to pronounce it, sending a nade on and after. I believe it actually might have missed, not destroying either of those deployable shields. I don't think it was caught. I think it just fell a bit short. No, it actually... No, it got that Goyo shield. It just so happens there's also a shield inside a bathroom that the Omai can retreat to and continue applying pressure to this area. Panic is also down below, but I believe he might have... No, he used a C4, but he did not detonate it. He's currently sitting down below the floor, pre-placed, waiting for intel to be relayed to him that, hey, you should blow that up. You might get a free kill.
I wonder where he placed it, actually, too. Interesting. But maybe he placed it on New Hatch. Hard to say, but...
Probably New Hatch.
Yeah. So far, at least they got rid of one shield. They got to get rid of the second shield inside a bathroom to push them back. And as you can tell, this is the point of this strat. It's to waste as much time as possible. We're down to the last minute. There's the C4
there it was.
From below. Actually, no,
wait, that's a different one.
It was Nomads. Where did Panic put his C4?
Well, I don't know, but Nomad put a C4 at the foot of both the Hibana and the Zofia and got 2 kills to start things off for Outlast in this round. And now Ferny's Tacos, they've already been... Sure, they cleared that pixel shield. Now they're struggling to clear out this bathroom shield, and they don't have any nades left. The Zofia is dead. They have literally nothing to clear it unless that sledge wants to get really close to it and destroy it with the sledgehammer. I don't think Titans is feeling that play right now. So, based on the looks of this, I would imagine Outlast are going to win this. It's going to be difficult for Ferny's to get this momentum. Outlast are going to have to give away or pick or two in order for the attack to try to regain momentum in this round. Nat will try to push on up, and Atheno takes him down. Flipper's thankfully there for the trade. In fact, 2, but not 3. Atheno's able to swing on out, get his second kill in the round. Outlast, they get their second round as well.
Looking good for Outlast. And yeah, we said... Cookie said this is their map, but they didn't seem to have quite the plan to deal with those shields inside of Pixel. They didn't have quite the plan to have someone maybe playing on that White Stairs window. Or not so White Stairs, either White Stairs window on the Whitehall window. We saw at least Flipper go for a late flank. A little bit too late, though. Because, he got 2 kills, but at that point it was already a 2v4? 1v4 after, you saw Titan die. So it was kind of late to get that flank off. Maybe earlier that could have been a big play if he made that play while they were pushing into Christmas. But I guess the big point is the fact that they never cleared below. They had a reinforcement in train, and nobody went below to try and deal with Panic with the C4. Nomad went down there and C4. Both players pushing into Christmas from that Red Stairs wall. So I guess a lack of really trying to clear it below, or lack of intel knowing that they were going for that later in the round.
Yeah, nobody really watching that flank downstairs. Lack of drones. Obviously a 2K with the C4 is... makes the point well enough that something was not going right for Ferny's Tacos on that second floor. But now, what better time not only to make the second floor go right, but the third floor as well, than a side like Reading. They're going to have to clear out that extension up top and then transition down below. Now, they could just send it up red and execute into dining from train like we see teams do sometimes. But... with Outlast setting so heavily up top, I imagine we'll see Ferny's Tacos try to make some attempt to clear out these players on the top floor. With the smoke as well, it could be a bit difficult to deal with, but this vertical control on Reading is very important for the attack to make work, and it's likely something that Ferny's will want to put a bit of a focus on.
Hopefully. We'll see, though. We'll see what they do. And Poise looking to try and get a kill through this. Oh, might have seen the feet of one of the members of the SES walking through laundry, but unfortunately he walks away at the right time. Won't get shot in the foot. And the open hatches of red, open the hatch of new hatch, and a C4 pre-placed early detonation doesn't get any damage off. Genesis is taking heavy damage elsewhere. I don't know where Genesis is at the moment, but he's taking most of his health. He has 1 HP left early in the round. Not looking good for him wherever he's playing.
Not looking great at all. And overall for Outlast, well, I was about to say it's looking good because you're not facing any pressure yet, but Nat sends in a nade, lands at the feet of Atheno. Opening pick goes the favor for Ferny's Tacos. First time in CL, first time in this game. Outlast have got the opening pick in the previous 2 rounds, and there's no answer from the defense to try and compensate for that damage suffered in the first 50 seconds. On top of that, Fernies can start making their way on in. Both Nat and Titans on this cigar side of things could push up White, could try to make a play down long bar, combined with Poise and Flipper on the repels on this side, in a good position to maybe even get a kill on one of the members of Outlast before they rotate back. Just have to be careful they won't get too aggressive and then compensate for that. And taking out the smoke as well, this is about the best it could be going for Fernie so far in this round, and even better as Flipper gets another kill on a Genesis. Panic tries to swing, Poise takes him down. It just gets better and better for Ferny's Tacos as they clear out that 3rd floor. Nomad will try to retake White, start pushing his way on up. Despite being on ADS, somehow manages to find Nat, but there's Poise watching him rotate back into sight. Ferny's Tacos, not a flawless round, still a damn good one for their first.
Yeah, early damage to Genesis, who was, I don't know where he was even, but he took heck of a lot of damage. 99 points of damage, grenade into Athena's feet, and then playing off of those repels upside down on the cocktail repel on the White Stairs window. They're able to take out every single member who was rotating around that area. Really came down to just last member of Nomad, who was playing downstairs, tries to get aggressive, gets 1 kill, but returns back to site to see Poise ready and poised, as you would say, at the window, at the door, we're waiting for him.
Yeah, early momentum gained early on, able to just get kills on the repel without even needing the pinch coming from Nat and Titans on the other side of the map. For Ferny's Tacos, you used even less than what you thought you were going to in that round, so good for them. And on top of that, Outlast are saying, okay, that round did not go well at all. Kitchen is open backed up. Let's rotate back down below. If you recall, this was the round where Ferny's Tacos made the call to rush in through that main VIP door, jump in through coach check, and try to make their way into the site. But unfortunately for them, Jewel looked at the exact door that Ferny's Tacos were pushing on through at the exact right time and got 1 kill that stopped the momentum from Ferny's Tacos. Here, I imagine they'll take this a little bit slower. 1, because Outlast probably won't put 3 to 4 members off the site like they did last time. And 2, I just doubt Ferny's are going to want to rush 2 times in a row, especially after the first one failed so spectacularly.
That was about the castle too, so even if they do rush again, they're going to run right into those castle barricades. And if they open those up, it's going to be pretty obvious what they're doing. So far, the setup from the side of Outlast is pretty normal, as you would see. They're going for that horizontal roam game where they're trying to make it difficult for them to take control of VIP, take control of coach check. There's still a couple players upstairs, but they're not going for the whole, mute Mozzie or vigil Mozzie that usually you do to try and waste time on the top floor. There's still a member of top floor. Let's say maybe that panic on the Rooney sitting there trying to waste time. I don't know how long they're going to sit up there. Maybe they're going to walk away as soon as they see some kind of pressure on top of them. But it looks like, yeah, we see Ferny's Tacos is going to see how they can drone out and see if they can drone these players and how good are their basics.
Well, 45 seconds in. Still yet to see.
Oh.
Well, basics must be pretty damn good. Able to take down Nomad on that castle. Poise gets that first kill. Obviously dropping down the red hatch. Not entirely sure where Nomad was playing, but he was likely playing close to that top floor. Maybe trying to peek up red, see if the attacking team was getting aggressive onto that 2nd floor from that stairway. Whatever it was, he's dead now. So no trade back from Outlast either. Means it's Ferny's Tacos to take the opening advantage once again with no answer back from Outlast. There are still players sitting on that 2nd floor starting to rotate back. In fact, one will manage to find Flipper. Sure, it takes 75 HP, but he manages to rotate back safely. That's your Nomad down, your key source of flank watch on the attack.
That could be a problem later on when it comes to that execute if someone is able to take control upstairs in those dying seconds. Though right now they're rotating downstairs, clearing the spot, the 2nd floor, and it looks like Titan is just kind of dry peeking. And he's getting pings though, so it sounds like someone's droning for him, making sure nobody's playing those white stairs, and they're trying to check sure nobody here is from the defense left. And yeah, everybody at this point from Outlast has returned back to site. They're gonna get to work to open up the floor and see if they can displace these operators, get a kill maybe. but most importantly, just push them off of sight and try and push them in positions where they can isolate them. At this point, you see members like Panic who are just setting up for the eventual execute, making holes between bar and sight. And at this point, yeah, boys just making holes, trying to find anybody he can, but most of the players are in positions you can't get from above.
Yeah, that's what happens, but at least you can do some sort of that sequence of events stun locked me for a second. You can at least do some process of trial and error elimination. Be like, okay, they're not here. They got to be here or here by opening up these holes. You might not find anybody, but one, you could do that, and two, you can deny rotations if people try to move back into the site. And going for a freezer drop that vertical can play can be the most important part for people trying to rotate back in. Rainbow and Poise will drop on down. Rainbow will even enter the site with no, well, I was about to say no recourse just yet, but Jewel puts a stop to that. Diffuser dropped inside the site. A retake as well. Nobody watching that flank now that Flipper's gone. Poise manages to find one kill, but Outlast managed to find their third round, stopping Ferny's Tacos' momentum.
I was kind of scared there because I saw Atheno playing this position. He wasn't really smoking inside a freezer. He was smoking outside the rotate. So I thought maybe at that point it would be an easy run-in for Ferny's Tacos, but no, there was someone ready and waiting with SMG-11 to stop them walking in. Especially then you also saw Panic on the retake upstairs, and that's what I was thinking of. That was gonna be a retake later on, and it worked out perfectly because I had gotten rid of the Nomad. So great job from Outlast, and a great ending to the round in Ferny's Tacos. You've gotten some good picks. You've gotten some first picks for them. We've seen them do some good work, but it just new teams. It's that droning and making sure they're being efficient is definitely difficult to do in the beginning, and they're starting to get down. You see glimmers here and there, but of course you see they're a new team. It's difficult for them. And so far, we go back to Reading and Fireplace, which has been the tertiary site for Outlast. That has been difficult for them. And surprisingly, actually bringing this out again rather than going back to the top floor.
Yeah, that is surprising. It is open, and considering how little focus Ferny's Tacos put on that second floor, I doubt that they'd be able to get a double C4 kill again. But there were a lot of flaws that Outlast could probably still exploit to a smaller extent, but still to some extent, to get an edge up in that round. This round in particular, if you recall, Ferny's Tacos were just sitting on the rappel on that east side, and everyone on Outlast peeked them, and everyone died. There was really not much from that round beyond that. Here, maybe Outlast is saying, okay, sure, we're playing this spot, but let's just not get as aggressive. Panic, you don't need to swing in that position. Jewel, you're smoke. You don't need to swing in that position. Whatever it is, and maybe they're just trying to play a bit more reserved away from those windows. It could work out. But yeah, it is surprising that they're not going cocktail. But maybe I'm hoping they have a solution in mind.
The mirror is a solution, I bet. And it's the first time we've seen one in a while.
I'd imagine.
Usually mirror's banned.
That is true. We saw it for a second at the beginning that Outlast 6 picked off and made me feel very sad. Now they're on it. I didn't even realize until you mentioned it.
Yeah, and this might be the thing they need, because maybe they're not going to play aggressive. They're going to play behind the mirrors and just deny them pushing in, though. We'll see what Ferny's Tacos has in store to deal with. Is that an air jab on? That's...
In case someone impacts and runs out.
Would it destroy
Or maybe it's if somebody jumps out white window and tries to go for the
back. Yeah, they try
the old
to return
the old
back
1-2 buckle my shoe play where you
maybe
run in the
I don't
door.
know. I just that kind of weirded me out, but hey, if they have a
it was kind of
like
odd.
that's cool.
That one was I came up with that explanation on the fly. I saw an air jab on a soft garage wall and I was like, not seen that one before, but
hey, I don't know what's going through their heads. Maybe they have some kind of crazy 300 IQ play. 100 IQ, that'd be unfortunate, but here's the first start.
Very average play.
The mirror window is the start here that they have to deal with, and well, they don't have Habana. They have Habana on the board. There's nothing really stops Habana besides the mute jammers, and the mute jammers do have different area effects. So, can they deal with these mirrors with the Habana? The difference. Flipper gets the first pick onto Atheno, and there goes one member helping out with a top floor roam. No off the board, making it easier for Ferny's Tacos.
And Genesis as well, using those new mirror windows, brought in their new attempt at Reading Room to get that kill onto Titans, who was vaulting into Freezer behind that mirror window. He's able to land the pre-fire, but holes go both ways, and so do bullets actually go one way. I was going to say two ways, but nobody from Outlast was shooting back against Nat in those engagements. 2 kills for the Yana means that all the momentum and impact you had on the top floor is now completely gone. One caught behind the position behind the mirror window, the other rotating back. No C4s down below either. You do still have these 2 toxic canisters, and actually, I changed what I said. Not only is Nomad C4 pre-placed, he also manages to find a kill onto Poise. But there's Nat, making his way down white, finds Jewel, and that pre-placed C4 is the only bit of utility left to have an impact in this round beyond Nomad's gun skill. Will manage to find the air jab hiding behind that broken vase, and will Ferny's Tacos hear that sound cue that but Nomad has retaken the top floor. He could be able to use whatever vertical control they've created at his disposal, but since the sledge died so early on, there might not actually be that many holes overall. Will find one, but he doesn't see Flipper peering right back at him. Ferny's Tacos, 2 rounds, 1 for them, both on reading room.
Tertiary site, really being a tertiary site for the side of Outlast, and it was a good attempt. You saw there at the end of that round that the Hibana pellets could not, or Skyros pellets could not open up those mirror windows. Even though the mute jammers are spherical, still was enough to stop them opening the mirror. So that could have worked out, but unfortunately we saw right there at the beginning, well, first pick goes onto Atheno. He goes out first, unfortunately. And then at the same moment, we saw the mirror of Genesis sitting behind his mirror, and he peeks out just a little bit to get shot from bathroom from Nat. Nat then walks over towards White Stairs. You see the Jaeger trying to leave, trying to get back to site, and he gets shot on the rotate, unfortunately making it a 2v4 at that point, or 2v5 even at that point. And actually, it was 2v4 at that point. And the last 2 members of Nomad, another player is trying to make it back, and it's difficult when you've given the entire enemy team the top floor. They can just do whatever they want.
That is absolutely true. And going to here as well, it wasn't the top floor. Well, it was the top floor that was the big issue. It is also the bottom floor that was a big issue for Outlast. Watching the flanks here was a little bit difficult for Ferny's Tacos overall. But Benny, if they fix that, maybe that's enough to start to gain some momentum on that top floor, because it was a little bit slow. They did fumble with the ADSs, the Wamais, and the deployable shields a little bit, but they still were really close to taking down that shield inside a bathroom and forcing Atheno to rotate off. But it was then that double C4 from below that stopped all of the progress that they were making, as slow as it was. They just put a little bit more focus down below, are more actively either watching the flanks in person or on drones. And then, hey, maybe you tighten up the utility clear up above as well. It still looked like a solid early to mid round for Ferny's Tacos, just with a few mistakes that were exploited by Outlast.
Yeah, again, it's just the early round of them trying to destroy those shields. It takes time. It's slow. They're still trying to figure out how to do it quickly, and yeah, just making sure they don't get C4 from below, making sure there's a drone watching below, and never mind, panic with the first kill onto Poise. I don't know where Poise was. Looks like he maybe entered from below, going maybe down to the bottom of red stairs, and he gets picked off early in the round, and that's utility you need to clear out those shields. Off the board early in the round, unfortunate for Ferny's Tacos. And I wonder, it's interesting because they keep trying to push straight into the site that, well, into the, the setup set up for them, and they're not going for maybe bring a buck, bring a different setup, bring a different life, maybe go for a cocktail take instead.
Well, either way, losing that Zofia, there is still plenty of clear on the side of Ferny's Tacos. You have 6 flashbangs in the hands of both Flipper and Rainbow, 4 nades in the hands of Titans and Nat. Losing those concussion lifelines and those impact lifelines, those are usually a lot easier to use than those flashbangs. It can sometimes be a bit better clearing those shields than those nades. One person will run out, but not able to find anything. He sprints out that bakery door. There are 2 members of Ferny's Tacos on the rappel, but he quickly runs back in and doesn't want to press his luck any further. Flipper will say, hey, I'll put an air jab there. I don't want to die to that. And that's a smart decision from Flipper. Good decision making on your part. But again, losing that Zofia, that was a big player in clearing out these shields up top. Now that she's gone, it looks like they might be a lot slower, and who knows if they fix their problems down below as well.
Oh, because even then, even if they destroy the shields, they still have to deal with the mirrors. And it looks like good intel from the side of Ferny's Tacos. They've identified one player inside of big. Oh, it's not a player. There's a player in train, a player in pillar. The player in train looks like they've been figured out. Panic goes down. And still, Genesis playing pillar. Looks like reactivated that laser gate as well. So more utility off the board. And these mirror windows are huge. That mirror window allows Nat to get killed up by a Jewel. And still, 50 seconds left to go. They still haven't dealt with the mirror windows. There's still maybe a shield as well sitting around in bathroom they still haven't dealt with.
Well, that's the question. On top of all those shields, even if they weren't a factor, having to push in with these mirror windows is going to cause even more uncertainty and waste even more time for Ferny's. Rainbow has to send those X-Kairos down, which I believe they did manage to trigger, but again, there's still this mirror window looking into Cigar that they have to deal with, and they don't really have an answer. Rainbow has 2 X-Kairos left with only 20 seconds left, and a bit too precarious of a hole on that wall to try and squeeze them through. This is looking like an Outlast round unless Ferny's managed to make this work on Titans dropping down the hatch. Nomad watching the entrance. Rainbow has managed to make his way on in, but there's not enough coverage. Titans gets it at exactly, or just a couple seconds too late. Will spot one behind the mirror window, but he's not watching Freezer. 2 little bodies, 2 little coverage. Outlast managed to get away with a 4-2 half.
That's usually why you see Mirror abandon this map. Because how much she can bring to the table and make it so very difficult in those situations. Like you need the grenades, you need the splashes, you need those utility to deal with all the shields. But at the same point, they could also try and bring a different operator to go for a different take. Well, if they knew it was third floor, at least though. Sometimes they don't know if you're going to that top floor, and bringing Buck on other sites may not be as helpful. So it's difficult to try and bring different options to, bring a different lineup if you're a new team. I can see what the issue is. We go on to Ferny Tacos' defense. They go to 4-2 half. It's not too crazy. It's Kafe. It really is how it goes when it comes to those halves. So still have the chance. Ferny Tacos still has a chance on defense to bring it back.
Yeah, securing your 4-2 half on Kafe, this is going to be familiar territory for Ferny Tacos. I'm sure they're not at all worried about ending a half at this margin. Moving to defense, they're actually taking this fairly similarly to how we saw Outlast take it on their half. No Maestro this go around, but I believe we had that Mozzie, we had that Vigil. It was actually, Vigil was what Genesis 6 picked from the Mira to the Vigil with, so I'm still a little bit angry whenever I see this operator in play because I was robbed from my analysis in round 1. But overall, it's a pretty similar setup. Just here for Ferny's Tacos, don't put 3 to 4 players off the site, continuing your setup well into the action phase. Make sure that Outlast don't have a chance to call that rush. And with all the intel denial at their disposal, when they likely have 2 players still holding up top, it's going to be difficult for Outlast to clear them out when they have to deal with those Mozzie pests, those mute devices, and Vigil's ERC all in tandem.
Yeah, going against the Roman is gonna be difficult for Outlast. I wonder if they're gonna go for it or if they're gonna go rush like Ferny's Tacos did, because trying to tackle an intel denial roam can be very difficult. Trying to find drone out Vigil, drone out the Mozzie who's roaming, even though they have pests around the rope. There's a big map though, so there's only so many places you can put those pests because they're not bringing them either. Actually, no, they're bringing them on Flipper. I lied. So never mind. There is quite a bit to deny them intel here. That can be very difficult. Though it looks like Outlast are ready to go straight frontal for it. Draw up this top floor, see if they can find these players from Ferny's Tacos and see if they can kill them. The question is Ferny's Tacos going to stay around and try and take fights, or are they going to, at the first point of pressure, return back to site? Are they going to play for their life? Looks like for the moment, they're all returning to that second floor after seeing the pressure from Outlast.
Boy's quick picking like a damn madman, so maybe he's at least feeling like he wants to go with some fights. But Nat also pushing up that long white hall could catch one off guard. Yes, he does. Also panic as well. Not looking. He manages to come away with his life and only a slap on the wrist from Nat overall. But it's still the opening pick in the favor of Ferny's Tacos. And there's that lack of intel coming to hurt Outlast. Whether it was for lack of trying or for lack of ability, thanks to Ferny's Tacos and the Mozzie Pest, the mute devices, and the ERC, Nat went unread, getting aggressive in that position, took away the Zofia, who has that powerful utility we mentioned earlier. Panic Vero nearly lost his life as well. There's also going to be some time wasted trying to catch Nat and make sure that he's not getting aggressive once again.
I would say they didn't waste too much time. It still allows for Outlast to go to work on this floor, but still getting the kill on Genesis is huge, though. It's still one member you won't have in that eventual execute. But they still have the Nomad around. They still have the ability to stop them from retaking that top floor. And the question is now, what is Outlast going to push that XQ to? Are they going to go for Bakery and open that wall? If they're going to do that, they got to do it soon because they're going down to the last minute here. It looks like Jewel will be the first to push in with Nomad into Bakery. Some playing very aggressive at the doorway into Small Bakery or into Prep. And it's the Mozzie of Poise. Poise does get refragged at least by Jewel, but you lose your Nomad. I'm assuming Nomad has placed those air jabs already for the rest of his team. Going in the last 40 seconds, the wall gets opened up. The holes are made so they can't return back to site, but there's still long angles from the side of kitchen servers that you still can fire on and deny the plants.
Well, they do still have this vertical control that is oh so important, but in the 3v4, as you picked up on, there's one player retaking up top, but he actually manages to miss him, despite seeing Rainbow, and Rainbow not even looking the way of Atheno. He manages to get away, just like Panic earlier, with only a slap on the wrist, only a little bit of damage dealt, and still with potential to retake the top floor if he wants to. 2 C4 sent out. That actually might have been Flipper that was up top thinking about it now, but either way, it's still somebody they has to think about. Athena will manage to land a last-second nade, a kill as well. 2v2 even, but can and will they be able to plant the bomb? Low HP, Panic, it's almost 0-0. It's all on Athena to cover. Does he have the holes necessary? Rainbow will rotate over, but it doesn't matter. He's not watching the right holes. It's not Rainbow to land it. I believe that was Flipper. But whoever it was, Ferny's Tacos, the 2 remaining members, evade the line of sight from Athena and get their first defensive round.
Oh my god, that was unfortunate at the end there. But still, again, the beginning part, losing Genesis early, didn't waste a whole lot of time, but still getting that pick. making it difficult for the attack later on in the round. He says right there, the coverage wasn't there, the manpower wasn't there for Outlast to make that work out, which is big still for Ferny's Tacos. Though at the end there, it was close though. The members like Atheno, like members like Panic, were able to get kills and make it close. Unfortunately, like especially there, it's like there was too many. There was twice in that round where members from Ferny's Tacos got away scot free, where they should have been killed by the members of Outlast. That would probably made the round for them. But like you saw in the beginning, that kill onto the member of the Vigil getting away. Member of Smoke who tried to retake upstairs. Those could have been important impact kills to give them the man advantage in the execute into service in the kitchen cooking. So it's unfortunate for Outlast didn't work out. We go on to Ferny's Tacos top floor defense.
After the way Poise was playing in that last round, I wouldn't expect him, of all players, to pick up the smoke in the subsequent one, but beside the point. We'll say, by the way, that while Poise did get that kill inside of Prep, I don't know if that was the best play. There were holes directly to his white, and he was swinging out in that door to the left. He was eventually traded out, but that was a very risky engagement for him to take. So him being on the smoke is a little bit worrisome, considering how aggressive he liked to play, but I have confidence in him. I don't want to rag on him before we've seen what he can do in Challenger League on the smoke. What are you saying? What are you seeing?
We're going back to that same play. Look, we're going to that same play inside the little cubby, like you've seen from SH from other teams. You know, with that that unfortunate time when someone couldn't deal with that person in the cubby.
Oh wait, you mean the time that someone was sitting in the cubby and there was a castle barricade and a Rooney gate on that double door, and
yeah,
I don't know. Let's say they were Hibana and trying to send flash grenades and a drone at that window. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the Rooney gate, and then they're gonna grenade or impact the the castle barricade to kill the guy inside the cubby, and for some reason those flash grenades just weren't cooperating.
No, that doesn't ring a bell. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, my bad. I told you, it was a while ago. People forget it. It wasn't that important. But either way, we have that member inside the cubby once again, and exactly. All right.
Well,
actually no, that's something different. Actually,
unlucky. Oh, it was actually Flipper down below.
Yeah, white stairs, just walking up the right stairs, and there's a shotgun waiting you.
He got away. That's incredible.
He walked down the right stairs.
There was a Z ping and a red ping on him, and Flipper somehow managed to escape. That is honestly amazing. Rainbow even then gets a kill on a Nomad as well. A nade sent up, will down Titans on the stairs, but there's that cubby player, Benny. Poise able to get a shotgun kill onto Atheno. We're minute 15 seconds in. We spent more time clowning an unnamed Hibana player than there've really been any play in this round. Flipper is down. Titans also finished off, so it is still man disadvantage for Outlast, but a lot better than what it was earlier. There is intel that Panic is playing on white stairs. Him confirming the kill on the Titans was likely indicative of enough of that for Outlast. With Jewel on the rappel as well, this will be a difficult position to try to make work, but they're at least close to each other. Just one kill could swing things back in the favor of Outlast. And well, on the other side of that, back into the favor of Ferny's as well. Not able to finish things off. Ferny's, it's all tied up now.
I don't even know what happened that round, really, at this point. I just remember one guy walked up white stairs, gets shotgun in the face. Another guy dropped red stairs, got shotgun in the face. Another guy was on a window, got shotgun in the face. I don't know.
Yeah, it was great for Outlast overall in that round. So it really was, though I will say, while it was a stomp for most of that game, it was nice that it was very versatile from Ferny's and where it happened. One time it was on white stairs, one time it was in cubby, the other time it was on cocktail. Like there was a lot of action geographically in that round, just very one-sided action.
A lot of great reaction from Ferny's Tacos and Outlast. I'm not sure what the plan was really, because they really, I guess they didn't want to focus on that, the Christmas side, because that's what they're expecting. They have the shield pixel. You've seen how difficult it was for Ferny's Tacos to, even make a dent in that defense. So I'm assuming they wanted to go for a cocktail take instead, but they didn't bring a buck, and they didn't really. They kind of, one person was solo walking up white stairs for whatever reason.
Well, I think at that point, the round had already started to spiral out of control. At that point, he might have just been like, you know what, I need to make a play. I need to do something at this point, and it did work. That person got a kill on the Titans, but that was pretty much it at that point. For the next site, by the way, since Ferny's Tacos have won 2 defensive rounds in a row, they defended kitchen, they defended cocktail. Where else would they go but reading room and fireplace? This was actually the one site that Ferny's Tacos managed to win 2 attacking rounds on. So if Outlast win it here, we're just repeating the pattern that we've already seen in this game. Little fun fact for you.
We're just sticking to the flow of the game at that point.
Yes, it's just literally the same thing.
Well, let's see if they can play differently from the side of Outlast, who really on the top floor, Rome could not hold that top floor whatsoever. Even with the aid of the mirrors, it was still incredibly difficult for Outlast to keep that top floor to themselves for most of the round. No mirror being brought here by Ferny's Tacos, but they are still bringing the Womai, the Jaeger, and shields to try and hold off that pixel area for as long as possible. Yokai being brought out by Echo of Poise, so we'll see maybe if they're trying to expect maybe a play on site, they can use those Yokai to stop the plant. Hard to say. It could be that last ditch effort that gives them the round. We've seen Echo plays before, usually on the kitchen site though, not usually on this site.
No, it is usually on that kitchen side, and on top of that, here usually if there is a bit of intel, it might be. I don't want him to do this. Poise your Echo. You're too important. You're literally the only like real plant denial aside from a couple C4s, which is important, but it's probably going to be used on the vertical control anyway. So like your Yokais are really important. I really don't want you to lose your life here. It's gonna hurt your team a lot, actually. Okay, well you didn't die. So
no, nobody peeks him, so he's good.
He didn't die.
He did.
So did it work?
Well, so far it looks like the Buck being brought here. Surprisingly, this round rather than last round, the Buck's being brought by Genesis on this top floor rather than actually no, Sludge and Buck are being brought. So there's two dedicated for soft breachers, and well, if you lose your Buck, you still bring the Sledge. You lose your Sledge, you still bring the Buck, so it's not that big of a deal. At least you'll have a backup option for that soft breach on the top floor. That's given if Outlast takes top floor, which they're droning out, seeing what's going on the red stairs and see if they can drop. Panic be the first one to drop, walking through, sees nobody to immediately. He'll peek that heaven area, so even play by in the window and just shoot the camera for the moment. But so far, Ferny Cycle is sticking to that back area, just waiting for Outlast to make their move.
Penny gets standing there like he's...
What the
hell, is that a moth in my... All right, well, it was not a moth in your ear. It was actually a gnat across the room for you, and that gnat is now gone. But what I was referring to was the yokai drone that he now just shot. There's one close by below that new hatch, and it's taken down. So not only do you come away with a kill onto the Womai fairly early on in the round before he can have his impact, you've also taken down one of Poise's two yokais. I don't know about the status of the other, but still losing one, especially with how close those post plants can come sometimes, no longer invisible, could be problematic for Ferny's post plant situation if they use those C4s and they go wide. Panic's also made his way down to that first floor as well, and Benny, it's not going to be on the reading room side of things. They actually are going for mining and train.
Interesting, because they got the first pick on someone top floor, so I thought that would escalate into a further clear of that top floor.
I thought that too.
They've now rotated below, and they're looking to pre-fire and see if they can find any kills. Jewel will get that wall open into dining, fireplace, and it's muted, of course, so I just throw a grenade to get rid of that mute jammer. And the member is playing white stairs. The member is playing in a C4 from below, pre-place. Actually, not pre-place. Rainbow going down below to deny it, from opening up, actually from using those frag grenades elsewise, but they still can open the wall up. So they should be able to get the walls open and push into, into dining or into reading with this other wall being opened up too. But there's a mute jammer, so they'll have to throw a frag grenade if they had a frag grenade into that small drone hole, which they don't have anymore. So they shouldn't be able to get that reading wall open, and they're kind of gated into a dining XQ now.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a problem, though. Jewel will rotate over, put an exothermic on that wall. It's muted. So now Benny, looks like they're rotating back over. Gonna try to make a play. Panic will find a kill onto Rainbow after the latter had already used his C4, and despite the Lucy Banshee in his way, Genesis will try to find a kill, but Poise is able to land the shots. On top of that, since they never cleared out that top floor, Titans is still up there. Nomad's the only one left. It's a 1v1 effectively with Genesis on the floor, but Titans is in the wind. He sprinted all the way. No chance for the Lion to get that kill. He actually does spot him at the very last second, but he's spraying wildly, not anywhere near where Titans currently is, and Ferny's Tacos with 3 rounds in a row, they'll get the lead. First time in this match.
In the end, it seemed like they really paid for the fact that they didn't really try to clear that top floor whatsoever. Players on white stairs denying the white stairs push. They lost their sledge with their only set of grenades on the attack to a C4 from below, because they didn't clear below, they didn't have drones below, and they didn't expect for someone to go into kitchen and C4 from below. Still, great C4 from the side of Rainbow, and in the end, it seems like Outlast tried to go for the easier play, which is just to open up dining wall and push in, or maybe open up that reading wall as well. And I don't know, it just seems like they didn't want to take the time to clear, and they were kind of gated into just walking into the doorways, which in the end, you walk into the traps, you walk into the Banshees, you walk into the Yokais, you walk into where they were expecting you, and it's very difficult to win those fights.
Yeah, it's very problematic overall for Ferny to try to come away with that. And there you go, that's also the important. Titans just still up top, never cleared him out, he can retake. Came down to the 1v1. Probably the most important decision in that round, but that's only granted by hindsight. Moving back down to kitchen, Benny, we have a little bit of a difference. Nomad saying, you know what? I'm not dealing with that echo again. I'm switching to the IQ. And there's no echo on the board. But there is Nat on the Vigil with the ERC, so it is still useful. It's not...
Oh, yeah.
It's not entirely useless.
If he's on the top floor, you can sit on the roof and you can identify him using ERC on the top floor. If he's on the top floor.
And on top of that, normally a lot of the big fear we're doing this again. We're really doing this again, boys.
This time.
He's gonna get this kill. He's gonna get this kill. All right, never mind.
Oh, well. The Ferny does a bit of damage.
You like spit on him with that level of damage. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was a lot of the times why people are weary of bringing IQ is because you don't really have any secondary utility, and you use no burn, no nades. You have a Claymore breaches. You can't really do all that much. But here, the only real utility that they have to worry about in that regard is an ADS. The rest are mutes, Mozzies, ERCs. That's not something you can deal with nades or flashes, at least in terms of direct counter. So IQ here, not actually as hurtful of a pick as it might otherwise be, given the lineup from Ferny's Tacos.
True. We'll see if it helps out dealing with this Vigil of Nat, who is playing around the top floor once again. And this is the big thing, is last time they let him go scot-free. He got a kill, walked away without getting refragged, and that's kind of the thing. It looks like at this point they've taken control of top floor. They've push back those defenders, maybe. Looks like, and they are identifying where the Vigil is, and you actually can ping him through the wall as well, do the change from IQ, and he saw his foot. Didn't really get the shot, though, unfortunately, for Nomad. So this is a good thing to have to bring the IQ for, actually, surprisingly, and it's working out so far, but can they get a kill, or is it just taking time to push them off of this floor?
That is the question. Here in the previous rounds for Outlast, we're just about to start opening up this bottom floor. But right now, there's nobody from Ferny's. They've already rotated back down, so not too much time has been wasted. Nat is at higher HP, but it does mean that Outlast, in theory, could start opening up that floor a lot sooner. Is that the case? No. Athena is actually just now starting to open things up, but it's a difference of a few seconds. Nothing all too crazy. Genesis will spot one through the floor, but like Ferny's Tacos has many times throughout today, they'll get away scot-free. Continues to be a 5v5 with all 5 players from Ferny's on site, and now with one less player up top from Outlast.
As unfortunately, destroying these boot jammers, trying to get this wall open, looking to make a bakery into kitchen cooking push once more. But again, without the Nomad on board, there's a member from Ferny's Tacos can make that push back up those stairs. Looks like hopefully they have drones at least, because I think last time they had drones that spotted the smoke out last time, but they couldn't get the kill. But they at least pushed them off and retaking top floor. Genesis is still working on the top floor while the members of his team are taking control of Bakery, and we're going on to the last 30 seconds, and the question is, can they take control? And there's the Mozzie once more poised. He is playing that position once more, and this time he's doing a lot better of wasting time getting kills. He's flashed, he's blind. Can the member of Nomad jump in and finish him off? No, he's still alive in the corner.
Wow, I'm actually amazed he's somehow still alive. I was about to say, surely he's going to die at some point. Low HP, a flash grenade, new flash at that. Yeah, he should be taken down. But at the same time, he still wasted a fair bit of time. It's a 3v3, but only 8 seconds left. Nomad put on the floor as well. Never able to clear out Kochek. Jewel is the only one left. 3 seconds left. A last-ditch effort to open up that bakery wall. Not going to happen. Titan's able to swing out round and pick up those final 2 kills. 4 rounds in a row, Benny. We're on match point for Ferny's.
It's been flawless so far for Ferny's Tacos. Maybe this is what Cookies was talking about when it comes to their expertise on this map. Maybe not so much on the attack, but on the defense.
Hey, my expertise too. I also predicted them.
Well, I was going to say just because you were... I don't know, you have rumors, though.
I still predicted them.
I need the scrim reports. Where are my scrim reports?
I don't know. I don't know where they are. I feel like trying to find the fountain of youth sometimes, trying to find out what happens in scrims. Hey, how's this team looking on a map? And then they look at me and shoo me away.
Well, back upstairs with Ferny's Tacos once more. And last time Outlast had this attack, I wasn't entirely sure what the plan was or where, the unified goal was, because it seemed like a lot of solo plays.
A lot of solo plays on both sides, but only... On the side of Ferny's Tacos, it was enabled by the play by Outlast. A kill from Flipper on White Stairs, somebody solo pushing up. A kill inside a cubby from Poise. Rainbow peeking out of those cocktail windows, able to take down player on Generator, watching that white window. Outlast struggled to get really anything of substance together in that round. And that's a bit of a daunting fact to think about when this could be the final site you play in your first game of Challenger League. This was the weakest attack for them, by far. The same setup from Ferny's. Same go around. Poise likely playing inside of that cubby. Flipper maybe down below. If they remember the player playing inside of Laundry being Flipper, hopefully they can pinch him and take him down, because that's a pretty manageable position to actually pinch him out, just coming from reading White Stairs or Red Hall. But it's still a matter of getting something together, which Outlast couldn't even do last time.
Yeah, they need to put some kind of unified goal, get something together as a team, and make a push happen. You know, maybe this time they're gonna go for that. You know, go for that Christmas take and try to deal with those shields and Pixel and Bathroom, as you've seen most teams do. It seemed like at least, you know, Ferny's Tacos were aware of a White Stairs push, and they were ready for it with those shotguns. Panic on the window of White Hallway, doesn't find anybody just pre-firing it. Atheno gets those hatches open for his team, and yeah, it looks like Outlast this time are making sure they can push into this Christmas side. They're aware of people playing below. I see one player on the side of Ferny's Tacos playing downstairs inside of Train, which that maybe a C4 lead run that you need to be aware of.
It is good that Genesis at least seems to be aware early on, but they're not aware of the very same position Poise has been playing 2 rounds in a row. Nat also aggressively pushing up inside a Cocktail. A 3v5 with just a minute in. The Ash and the Zofia both down. Those 2 operators have 2 important pieces of utility to take down the deployable shield in the hands of Poise, or the castle barricades inside the site if they're put in places that Atheno can't reach just yet. Again, they just dropped the hatch with Poise looking at them with a shotgun. What do you think is gonna happen? Atheno has 2 sets of nades. I'm just putting that fact out there. You put together the pieces as how Outlast could have driven Poise out of that position. With him and Jewel, the only ones left, both separated on opposite sides of the building, what have they accomplished? Poise and the rest of Ferny's Tacos still firmly control Cigar. In fact, they really firmly control the entire map at this point, with both players from Outlast still outside. Finally, Atheno will rotate over, send in an nade, but it's caught by an ADS. He has to try and land the shots. Poise will start peeking. He's finally down by the pistol, but that engagement is indicative of the sloppy clear from Outlast in the previous 2 minutes.
Jewel playing games with the Castle of Rainbow on this heaven window, and yeah, as you said, just a simple way of just opening up that stage window and trying to deal with the player in cubby could have been done, but they didn't even try. Atheno just thinks he can walk in, but someone's still playing Pixel. A C4 finishes him off. Jewel's playing in heaven. He's made his way through, gotten a kill of his own, but there's 3 members left from Ferny's Tacos and only 30 seconds left, and they all know where he is. Guns trained on his position. Tanks come out. There is intel for Jewel, but only 1 of 3 members. He has no clue where the rest of the members are at. He's looking around, trying to find somebody, and it's not coming from the pallets to finish him off. And Ferny's Tacos win their first game of CL.
There were comparisons made between Ferny's Tacos and Outlast, the newbies coming in from relegations. Many didn't think they'd make it there, and all eyes were on Ferny's Tacos in their first match. But where the similarities end, where Outlast got 7-0'd, Ferny's Tacos, they get their first win, a 7-4 win in regulation against a team that they, by the end, will probably have needed to beat. So a good showing from them on their first map, and a testament to the rumors that CJ mentioned. Kafe is certainly a map well within their pool, and one that they are very comfortable on.